Russian infantry scattered. Convoys burned on frozen roads. Ukrainian drones dominate the skies, relentless, silent, and lethal. From Bakhmut to Avdiivka, no column is safe. This is the new face of war. Fast, precise, and unmanned. May 18th, 2025. This time, the footage is from a Russian soldier's helmet footage. Unexpectedly, a Ukrainian FPV drone follows the Russian soldier. The Russian soldier first tries to shoot the drone, but it is very difficult. After a few test shots, he moves towards the area with more trees to hide from the drone. Ukrainian drone pilot is determined to go after Russian soldier. Russian soldier is panicking but shoots repeatedly to shoot down drone. Gunshots are also heard from other Russian soldiers. They are trying to shoot down the drone. The Ukrainian attack drone cannot find a suitable position and take action. Soon, the Russian soldiers manage to shoot down the drone. May 20th, 2025, Luhansk region, Novodruzhsk city. Ukrainian forces detected a Russian T-72 tank along with a Russian ammunition depot. A fiber optic guided FPV drone was immediately launched for an attack. After a small-scale observation, the tank and ammunition under the building were completely destroyed by the explosive carried by the drone. May 15th, 2025. West of the village of Nova Poltavka, Donetsk region, 2 Russian armored vehicles with personnel attempted to enter the positions of the 91st Separate Anti-Tank Battalion of Ukraine. However, this attack attempt was detected by reconnaissance vehicles. Ukrainian UAV operators adjusted their fire and attacked the vehicle and enemy personnel, while 2 armored vehicles belonging to the Russians were pushed back by airstrikes and artillery attacks. The Russian soldiers who tried to escape were also unable to escape this attack. Bombs were also dropped from drones on Russian soldiers who got out of their vehicles and hid in the ruins. Another group trying to escape on a motorcycle hit a mine. Russian forces suffered heavy losses in a failed operation. May 8th, 2025. Russian forces attempted to attack Ukrainian positions in the Donetsk region with a T-90M tank. Ukrainian FPV drones immediately launched a counterattack to prevent the attack. After several accurate hits, several Russian soldiers from the assault forces above the tank were injured. Desperate against the attack, the Russian tank and crew entered the forest. The tank, which suddenly entered the forest to escape the attacks, still could not escape the drones. The successive drone attacks finally destroyed the tank. While the Russian tank was destroyed by fire, 7 Russian soldiers lost their lives in this attack attempt. May 7th, 2025. Russian forces attacked trenches near the village of Novocheretovate in the Donetsk region, where units of the 93rd Mechanized Brigade are located, with armored vehicles and infantry. 3 armored personnel carriers belonging to Russian forces were neutralized by Ukrainian FPV operators and mine units as they arrived in the area. While the lead vehicle at the front of the Russian military convoy is disabled by a mine, an FPV drone attack begins on other armored vehicles. The Russian infantry, which has been hit heavily by the air unit's attack, enters the forest. Although the Russian infantry manages to escape the drone attacks by entering the area with trees, all armored vehicles are destroyed one by one. This footage shows that Ukraine's operations using modern FPV drone technology are of critical importance and are causing serious damage in the war. Ukraine's drone warfare force is destroying all remaining Russian armored vehicles. It is very difficult for the surviving Russian soldiers to escape in this difficult terrain. April 24th, 2025. Reconnaissance units of the 98th Airborne Division detected a Russian assault group attempting to cross the border near Bakhmut. The Russian military convoy included BMD-3 Rakusha air defense vehicles and several armored personnel carriers. Russian forces first crossed the border area with an armored personnel carrier. The Russian armored vehicle, moving on train tracks, practically reveals itself to be detected and attacked. Soon, Ukrainian forces are moving in for an attack. The drone launched for the airstrike moves in the exact direction of the Russian battleship. The Russian armored vehicle, which lost its ability to move with the first attack, stands still. A second attack comes soon after. With the second attack, the vehicle is completely destroyed by explosion. The second target of Ukrainian forces is the Soviet-made BTS-4. The BTS-4 is a Soviet recovery vehicle based primarily on the T-54/55 main battle tank chassis. The Ukrainian command center launched an attack with a unit of the Wormbusters attack UAV brigade to prevent this attack attempt. The drone's effective attack completely destroyed the vehicle in a single attack. But this operation does not continue only on land. Ukrainian drones, which immediately conduct air reconnaissance, detect an interesting target. Only a careful drone pilot would notice this target. It is a Russian military drone. What is more interesting is that the drone is carrying military cargo. May 20th, 2025. This footage, recorded by Russian drones, shows Russia attacking a training ground near Shostka in the Sumy region using the Iskander missile system. The test site was located just over 40 kilometers from the Russian border. More than 50 Ukrainian soldiers lost their lives as a result of the Russian attack. The missile's impact area was so large that all Ukrainian soldiers within hundreds of meters had no chance of escape. After this attack, Ukrainian forces announced that they would launch a counterattack. May 18th, 2025. The Air Reconnaissance Unit of the 68th Mechanized Brigade of Ukraine detected at least one motorcycle and an ATV belonging to Russian forces at a vehicle checkpoint near the village of Tyotkino in the Kursk region. A drone was launched at the detected location for a kamikaze attack. The vehicles inside were destroyed in just a few minutes. Lacking sufficient equipment, the Russian army is relying on infantry units to carry out attacks on Ukrainian territory. But the Ukrainian military is aware of every movement in the region. Reconnaissance drones constantly patrol the front lines, keeping watch from above. With no armored vehicles to protect them, enemy soldiers are forced to hide, digging into abandoned buildings and forested areas. But Ukraine has a fast and effective response. Kamikaze drones, guided by intelligence from reconnaissance units, strike with deadly precision. As the conflict drags on, the battlefield evolves. Drones replace battalions, and silence in the skies often signals a strike. For soldiers on the ground, every shadow could be their last warning.